Revelation 798. From the 6th of March 1939. Powers from below. My love seeks you often, and you take up the connection with me. I want to keep you away from the traditional course of those who want to investigate me, who soon lose themselves in excessive brooding and then are no longer able to cope with the demands of life. Behold, mankind turns away from me, and I therefore need willing earthly children completely devoted to me, who are to carry out a mission, determined to counteract the activities of mankind. What is neglected on the one hand, to call me in all tribulations, in doubts of faith and anxious questions, must be done all the more eagerly on the part of these earthly children. They must always and everywhere seek me, consult with me, get strength from me, and without hesitation, entrust every step to me. And I will always be ready, let myself be found, and hand out power in excess. Because only in this way I can visibly work again on earth, when my children always strive to do what I put into their hearts. Whoever puts every question to me to answer, whoever listens to me and accepts my admonitions as what they are supposed to be, whoever follows me willingly, is also conscientious in his earthly task and therefore suitable to be my helper. The teachings from above will reach you without a break, and the right bond with me will also secure you such in the future. Only he who renounces all doubts is able to receive the pure teaching of God, because it is his faith which lets him recognize the truth rightly, and therefore the spiritual powers always choose the form appropriate to the state of faith, that is, an earthly child standing in deep faith will also be led into the deepest knowledge, but on the other hand the teaching will be offered to the doubting one in such a way that it can easily cause doubts again, in order to recognize a strong faith as necessary and to strive for it with all eagerness. Who stands in faith, unlimited spiritual teachings will reach him, which are again received by him without doubts. But every doubting thought also weakens the ability to receive, and therefore the reception of deep spiritual teachings is considerably more difficult, and the teaching of the earthly child progresses only slowly. If you consider all this, you will also find an explanation for the unsatisfied mood to which you sometimes succumb. The discerning soul resists everything that hinders it and desires spiritual nourishment, and the love of the divine Savior grants it such nourishment without ceasing. And so receive from below, that is from the area of the God-hostile power. Understandably never a power can express itself, which points visibly and constantly to God, therefore also the effort of those regions will always be to keep the beings in apostasy, or try with all means to alienate them from the eternal divinity. In such a presupposition of the working of this power from below, the received writings are already proof in themselves that they are of divine origin, because everything that obviously leads upwards, must also go out from there. As vice versa, the working of the God-opposing forces becomes recognizable by such teachings which want to contradict the divine teaching completely. So also the success of the received teachings must correspond to them. The whole change of being must be in harmony with the spiritual good, which is imparted to the earthly child. And this must strengthen the faith and banish all doubt from the heart. Man is certainly weak and is very often subject to the temptations of evil, where he should be able to withstand the extraordinarily many proofs of divine love. But then he has to struggle hard and must therefore atone for his fickleness and his weak faith. And again it is only prayer that makes him overcome. Without divine help, man cannot free himself from the state of trepidation and doubt. Only the grace of the Lord, implored for in prayer, gives the earthly child renewed strength, and he then works with double zeal for the liberation of the spirit from the unworthy state, the captivity of the adversary, who often tries to shake the firmness of man's faith by means that seem quite innocuous, and also sometimes succeeds despite the best will and obvious recognition of the living God. But even if the spirit is willing, the human body is still weak, and recognizing this, the adversary uses every opportunity to stir up doubt in the human heart and thus to make the hearts submissive to his influence. It is therefore of special importance for the human being that he tries to master the doubts, that he tries to strengthen the faith and asks this from the Father with all his heart. Only then he will feel able to resist the temptations of the adversary and will never fall into temptation. He will become strong in spirit and the adversary will have no power over him. Amen.